Heidi ho there, friends and neighbors. Bobby here today, and folks, today I'm going to do a video on Hurricane Florence. Okay, that's a hurricane that may be coming to a city near you this week. All right, and we're going to talk a little bit about the hurricane. I'm not a meteorologist, but I'll do the best I can. I'm actually going to make a comparison to a hurricane that come through these parts about 30 years ago, Hurricane Hugo, and I'm going to try to give you some ideas the things that you may need, mainly if you live inland, okay? And I'll give a little bit of ideas of what I'd do if I was living on the coast. So let's get started. First of all, let's talk about Hurricane Florence. Right now, it's sitting out here in the ocean, spinning around. It is already a Category 4 as of Monday, okay? This is Monday evening, and I believe a few hours ago, it hit Category 4 status, okay? They are expecting it to hit somewhere in between these two red lines, and this is somewhere about the middle part of South Carolina, maybe on up to the tip up here at North Carolina, Wilmington area, maybe just south of that is what they've been predicting so far, and I believe it's going to hit around Thursday night, okay, sometime during the night. A Category 4 hurricane is nothing to, just kind of brush off, okay? I have lived through one before, and I'll explain that here in just a little bit, give you a couple ideas about things that happened back then. This can go very far inland, okay, and still do a lot of damage. A lot of power lines can go down, trees can fall down, okay? A lot of damage even further inland. Okay, let's talk a little bit about what I went through 30 years ago, okay? I was 21 years old, had just gotten married a few months before that, and had moved into a house the week before Hugo hit, okay? This is the path that Hugo took, okay? As you can see, it's a little bit different. It actually come down here and it done some damage down here in Puerto Rico, come up through Charleston as a Cat 4 hurricane in the middle of the night, actually on a Thursday night, going on to a Friday, about the same thing that Florence is going to do. Went straight up through South Carolina, come right across Charlotte, as still a Cat 1 hurricane, okay? There was a lot of damage. There was trees down everywhere, power lines down. There was power outages in the Charlotte area from anywhere from 10 days up to 2 weeks on average. There were some people that it actually took longer than that to get their power back, okay? It was a mess. And all they said on the news the day before that, leading up to that, we possibly could have winds up to 50, 60 miles an hour. They were telling you, don't be out messing around in it. But at the same token, it turned out, I think we had 60 to 70 mile an hour winds with gusts up to 90, okay? It done a lot more damage. It's a good thing it happened in the middle of the night, okay? At least most people were home in bed when it happened. They weren't out on the streets trying to commute to work or coming home from work. Okay, let's see here. I want to tell a little bit more about that story. I wasn't very prepared for Hurricane Hugo. When we woke up the next morning, about 5 in the morning, I actually slept through most of it. Some people wonder, how the heck could you sleep through a hurricane? But anyway, around 5 in the morning, I finally woke up. My wife and I were we could hear the storm. It was throwing stuff up against the house and everything. Still dark outside. When daylight started coming up, we went and looked through a window through the garage, and she said, "Didn't there used to be a tree there?" And I said, "Yeah, I believe there was." And as the light come up a little bit more, we could see it was a 4-foot diameter oak tree that had fell onto the neighbor's house, okay? And then all total, I had about 6 trees in my yard that fell. And of course, power was out at that time. And the only thing that we had was one flashlight with 2 D-cell batteries in it and a little radio, okay, that held 2 D batteries. So when we wanted to walk around the house and look at something, we had to put the batteries in the flashlight. If we wanted to listen to the radio to get updates on this storm from the local radio station, we had to put the batteries in there. So that's all we had, okay? Anyway, my dad was a Charlotte police officer at the time, After a couple days into this, he was working 12 on, 12 off, okay? All the policemen had to work a lot of extra time during that time period. There was some, there was a lot of fun things that happened during this. One thing that's actually a good memory was when we finally figured out the power wasn't coming on anytime soon. Dad had a bunch of meat in his freezer that we had to cook up. So we had a big party one night at his house after the event, and we cooked steaks on the grill, pork chops on the grill, bacon on the grill. We ate nothing but meat that night, and it was like something I'll never forget. It was a great memory. Okay, all right. So let's move on to how you could be a little bit more prepared for a storm, okay? Number one, if I lived on the coast, here's what I would do, okay? If they'd done a mandatory evacuation, I would board my windows up, gather some personal items that I wanted to make sure never got damaged or anything. I'd put them in my vehicle and I'd drive the heck out of there. I would not stay, okay? Make sure your insurance is paid up and go ahead and just don't worry about it. You know, things like that can be replaced. Get your kids, get your wife if you have one, get your dog, and get out of town, okay? Now, for inland living during a hurricane, this is what I recommend, okay? Because probably what you're going to be subject to is power outage. That's going to be the biggest thing, and possibly trees falling. You may get a tree fall on your house, on your car, or what have you. Power lines may be down. You might not be able to travel too well for the first day or so after a storm like this. So you're going to have to kind of stay at home, okay? So let's make sure we're prepared to stay at home. I want to try to get you more prepared than I was back in 1989, okay? A day leading up to this, okay? Go ahead and go around your yard, get anything that can blow around or blow away. Go ahead and secure that, okay? If you got to bring it in your house, bring it in your garage. Get your grill, get your kids' plate, toys, or whatever. Get them up, get them out of the yard so they don't blow away, all right? Next thing, get all your laundry and dishes called up, okay? Might not be a bad idea to go ahead and wash the sheets on your bed too, so you got nice clean sheets after the fact as well. Get all that done. Any trash you have around, get rid of it, okay? Any trash in your house, even if your trash is sitting out there waiting to be hauled off, maybe like on Monday, and you got a bunch of trash, well, probably Monday the trash people are going to be backed up anyway, or might not even be able to still get around. Go and haul it off yourself. Take it to a dumpster, take it to a recycle center or whatever. Get rid of your trash, okay? You don't want to have that stuff smelling, hanging around with you, all right? Big thing you want to have is water, okay? Especially if you live somewhere where you got a well. If your power goes out, your well's not going to work, you're not going to have any water, okay? We all need water. A man or woman cannot go more than 3 days without water. So that's the most important thing to have. You can buy bottled water. You can also get containers to put water in, okay? I'm going to show you one container right here. This is a container here made by Ozark Trail. Holds 6 gallons of water, and it is suitable for drinking out of, okay? You can also fill up 5-gallon buckets. You can purchase a bucket at Home Depot, and this here would be suitable just to have water around to wash your hands, you know, maybe wash your face, maybe flush a toilet. Have several of these around, maybe one under each sink, ready to use for that sort of thing, okay? You can also take if you have a trash can outside, clean it out, fill it up with water, or just put a big plastic bag in it, fill it up with water. That would be good also for using to dip into, to flush toilets and so forth like that. You can also fill your bathtub up and cork it off. You got water there that you can use to flush a toilet if need be or what have you. Also, a lot of people don't think about this, and this is one item you're going to have to access this, is your water heater in your house. Whether you have a 40-gallon, you might have a 50-gallon. Well, that's water that can be used, but you will need a water hose to access that, okay? Now, if you do that, make sure you flip your breaker off to where when the power does come back on, that your hot water heater doesn't start heating up. It could cause the element to go bad if it was heating up with a dry hot water heater, if you know what I mean. So anyway, you can do that. All right, so let's move on. We've talked about water enough, I think. Non-perishable food. Make sure you got enough stuff around the house that you like to eat, okay? And your kids like to eat. Make sure you got plenty of stuff around. Don't go out and buy a bunch of stuff that needs to be refrigerated. Just buy the stuff that you know you can eat, okay? Light and a radio. I recommend flashlights, okay? Flashlights or a lantern, anything like that. This one here is a rechargeable one that I'm actually getting ready to do a review on for this company In Gear. You can plug that into your car and charge that up. We'll be doing a review on that real soon. Okay, let's see, let's move on. And make sure you have plenty of batteries that fit your lights and your radio, okay? Gas. Go ahead and gas up your vehicles before the storm comes, because after the storm, if the power's down, you're not going to be able to get gas if you have to go anywhere, okay? Go ahead and gas them up now. Maybe fill up an extra 5-gallon container of gas, a gas can if you have one. Chargers, okay? Any type of chargers for any type of your electronics, you may want to pick up one. I actually never have had a car charger until just a couple of days ago. I went out and bought one just in case I need to charge my phone. I'll go out there and plug it into the car. Okay, fire. You're going to need some way of cooking, okay? Whether you may have a gas grill. If not, maybe you at least have a charcoal grill, because you're going to probably have some stuff that's going to thaw out in your freezer. So you might as well cook it up and enjoy it. Maybe you'll have one in big parties like we had at my parents' house 30 years ago, okay? So a charcoal grill, pick up a bag of charcoal, and some way to start a fire easy, some lighter fluid, and some lighters, okay? Make sure you got all that on hand. Paper products, paper plates, toilet paper. Don't be without toilet paper, that's not fun. Paper towels, things of that nature. Make sure you got all that, plenty of that type of stuff too, okay? Maybe even make sure you got soap and things of that nature as well, okay? And cash. Make sure you have a little bit of cash on you in case you need to go purchase something and the power's out and they can't really ring it up or what have you, or maybe you need to purchase something from a neighbor or what have you. Just have a little bit of cash on you. All right, guys, hopefully you found this video helpful, and anyone that's going to be in the path of this storm is definitely going to be a Cat 4 when it hits land, and there's a good chance it could still be a Cat 1, you know, a couple 100 miles inland. We just don't know. We never know with these things, but just always be prepared. And I just wanted to make this video to hopefully help some people out there. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Take care.